So now we are going to discuss what is stack memory and what is heap memory. When any .NET application runs, CLR and operating system allocates two types of memories to that particular application. One is stack memory and another one is heap memory. So the stack memory is a contiguous block of memory. Contiguous means sequential blocks would be allocated to stack memory. And the heap memory is a non-contiguous memory. So it is not a sequential block of memory. When stack gets full, it will throw stack overflow exception. But in case of heap memory can be grow gradually as per the requirement of the application. So let's discuss stack memory first. So this is the stack memory. So this is the first object which was pushed into the stack. This is the second object, third object, fourth object, and so on. Once this stack gets full, it will throw stack overflow exception. So this exception we can raise with the help of code in further tutorial. So stack in limited size, but in case of heap is not a limited size. It can be increased gradually as per the requirement of the application. So stack memory ordered on top of each other. So this is the first object, second object, third object. Also from stack, we cannot delete any item from the stack. It should be deleted from top of the stack. So it follows LIFO principle. What is LIFO principle? LIFO means last in, first out principle. So the last object which was pushed into the stack would be deleted first. And the first object which was pushed into the stack would be deleted at last. So that is the LIFO principle. The stack is a region of memory used for static memory allocation, particularly for storing value types and maintaining the order of method calls and local variables. So in stack, we can store function calls. So as we are aware from our application, we can give different calls to functions. So those function calls would be maintained in stack like this. Suppose this is our stack memory. So every application has its entry point, that is main method. Then from main method, if we are calling another function, that is function 1. From function 1, again we are calling function 2. Then function 3 and then function 4. So like this, call stack would be maintained in stack. And once this stack gets full, it will throw stack overflow exception. Stack, it follows a LIFO principle, meaning that the last thing added to the stack will be the first thing removed. So if you want to delete the item from the stack, it should be deleted from the top of the stack. So we cannot delete any item randomly from the stack memory. The stack is a region of memory that is typically allocated in a contiguous block. So it is a sequential kind of memory. So these are the key characteristics of the stack memory. It stores only the value type variables. So primitive data types like integer, character, bool, float, struct, etc. are the value type variables, and that would be stored on the stack memory. When a variable of value type is declared, its data is directly placed on the stack, and global variables are stored on the heap instead of stack. Suppose we are declaring the value type variables as a global variable, then in that case, those variables would be stored on the heap memory instead of stack. But all the local variables which was declared in the function would be stored on the stack memory. Stores method calls and local variables. When a method is invoked, all of its local variables and parameters are stored on the stack. So as we already discussed here, all the call stack of methods would be maintained in stack memory. Once the method completes, all its associated data is removed. So all the local variables which was declared in that particular function, if the function returns the value or completes its task, then all the memory allocated to those local variables would get deleted from the stack memory. Automatic memory management. The stack is automatically managed by the runtime environment. When a method returns, the memory associated with the methods local variables is automatically freed. Fast access. As stack memory is a contiguous, that is nothing but the sequential memory, it is faster than heap memory. Access to the stack is very fast because the data is stored in a contiguous block of memory, and memory allocation and deallocation happens very quickly. Size limitations. As we already discussed, stack is a limited size of memory. Stack memory is a typically limited in size. Large data or too many method calls can be lead to stack overflow exception. By default, 1 MB is allocated for the stack in a C# application, but this value can be configured in the application settings. Threads. As multiple programming language supports multi-threading, so in case of threads, separate memory is allocated to each thread. And if threads return any value to its calling thread, then those values would be stored on the heap instead of stack, because the result of the thread is required in the calling thread. So that's why instead of returning that value into the stack memory or storing that value into the stack memory, it would be stored on the heap memory, because as soon as if that thread gets closed, the memory allocated to that thread on stack gets deleted by the runtime environment. So those values or result would be stored on the heap memory instead of stack memory. So there are two functions here, method A and method B. In method A, we are declaring two variables, local variables X and Y, which are integer data type. So these are the value type variables. So it would get stored on the stack memory. So from method A, we are calling method B and passing the X parameter as a value type. So method B, there is a input parameter Z, and we are doing some calculations over there. So integer Z and integer A variables would be stored on the stack memory because those are local variables and are of value type variables. So in stack, so the main method is the entry point of any .NET application. From main method, we are calling method A. So that's why memory would be allocated for method A, and the local variables would be stored on the stack because those are value type variables. And from method A, we are calling method B. So after that, memory for method B would be allocated. So the call stack is maintained in stack only. So let's discuss in detail with the help of this program. So in this program, we are declaring two integer type variables C and D, which are a global variables, not a local variables. So that's why it would be stored on heap memory instead of stack. So as we are aware, in a .NET application, this is the entry point, that is main method. So at the bottom of the stack, memory would be allocated for main method only. So from main method, we are calling method A, and from method A, we are calling method B. So as we have already discussed, these two variables are global variables. Even it is a value type variables, it would be stored on heap memory because these are the global variables and can be shared between different methods. So that's why it is stored on heap memory. So on stack, the first memory allocated to this method, main method, because it is the starting point of the application. After that, we are calling method A. So the memory allocated for method A as well on stack. So method A contains two integer type local variables. That is integer X is equal to 10 and Y is equal to 20. So it would be stored on stack only. After that, from method A, we are calling method B. So memory would be allocated on stack only. So method B contains one parameter, that is integer Z, and one local variable integer A. So both would be allocated on stack only. So once method B executes its execution or completes its task, the memory allocated to method B on stack, it would be deleted by CLR. So yes, now the memory allocated to method B has been deleted by CLR. So after that, method A also completes its execution. So memory allocated to method A as well, it would be deleted by CLR. Yes, it would be deleted. After that, main method is also finished its task. So memory allocated to main method as well would get deleted. So after completion of this application, the memory allocated on heap memory are still there because it would not be handled by CLR. It would be handled by garbage collector. So in further discussion, we will discuss in detail how the memory is managed on heap by CLR or garbage collector, how it gets deleted. So now we are going to generate Stack Overflow exception with the help of this program. So here we have declared one class, that is program, which contains counter variable. It is declared as a global variable which contains main method. So when any application run, console application run, this is the entry point of the program, that is main method. From main method, we are calling the method A, and from method A, we are giving the recursive call to itself, that is nothing but the method A. And we are just printing the counter, how many calls had happened during the recursion. So let's debug the program. So now control comes into the main method, that is, it is the starting point of the application. Now from method A, this statement will get executed. And if you check the console, the first statement was written on command prompt and the initial counter value is 0. Now from method A, we are calling method A only. So it is a recursive call. So now the counter would be 1. So recursive call to method A is pointing to 1. Again, counter gets incremented and the next call gets executed. So similarly, this is the recursion function and it will print all the statements with the increment value of counter. So here the counter is incrementing, but after some time, the memory allocated to this application by CLR gets full and the system generates the Stack Overflow exception. So it proves that there is a limited memory allocated to any application by CLR.